This is going to be a very different video. We're not going to talk about knives or guns or stuff like that. But I'm going to talk real quickly about old stuff, and sometimes the old stuff is the most precious stuff. And what I've got right here is a very, very old guitar, circa somewhere around 1940. And it's not a really expensive guitar, maybe worth a couple $100, but it's the most valuable object I own. So if you've been following the channel for very long, you may know that my dad passed away last June at 84 years of age. So I wrote him a song, and I'm going to play it for you coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. And like I said, this video has nothing to do with survival or gear reviews or anything like that. But just thought I'd share a little personal stuff with you for a minute here. Like I said, my dad passed away last year at 84 years of age, and this was his guitar. And I just kind of want to talk about sometimes we're always looking for the new, latest, and greatest kind of thing, but sometimes something that's really old and not even the best thing in the world can be your most favorite thing. And this is probably my prized possession. It's not worth a lot of money. I had it checked out by George Gruen at Gruen Guitars several years ago up in Nashville. He said it was maybe worth a couple $100, but it's made in about 1939 or 40. Let's give you a little close-up of it before we start the song, because this is Survival on Purpose. You know there's going to be some rambling, but this is just an old Regal Archtop guitar. They probably made these things, I don't know, by the thousands back in the day, probably made in Chicago. I have put new tuners on it because it fell off a stand and broke one of the original tuners, which that was kind of a bummer. But this was in my dad's closet for a long time, literally in a baggie with stuff apart on it. And I asked him what he was going to do with it one day, probably about 20 years ago, and he said, "I don't know, you want it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll take it." I put it back together, and I got it playing. He was pretty happy to see that actually it was still playable. I've got nicer guitars. I've got guitars that sound a lot better, but like I said, this is my favorite one. So, but anyway, I wrote Daddy a song, and hopefully I can get through it without choking up. Let me get a drink of coffee here for you, and then I'll play you the song. And you know, look, I'm not the greatest guitar player, nor absolutely the greatest singer in the world, but anyway, I hope you enjoy it. It's called the Self-6 String. This guitar ain't much to look at. Nothing special about the sound. Might not seem to be much reason for me to keep this thing around. This old 6-string was my daddy's. He's the one taught me to play. When I strum a chord, I hear his voice. Him every day. He never played too fast or fancy. Mostly stayed on the first 4 frets. The way he sang that old time gospel, I never will forget. This old 6-string was my daddy's. He's the one taught me to play. When I strum a chord, I hear his voice, 'cause I miss him every day. He's the one that taught me how a man should live his life, how to work hard for a family, be faithful to a wife. He taught me how to shave and how to shoot, how to sharpen up a knife. That a man should always tell the truth, stand up for what is right. This old 6-string was my daddy's. He's the one taught me to play. When I strum a chord, I hear his voice, 'cause I miss him every day. This old 6-string was my daddy's. Well, hope you liked it. I messed up a little bit there. I'm sure you heard, but just keeping it real here for you. So anyway, I know that's a little outside the norm. It's not going to be a regular thing here. I actually have a music channel, Bryan Stevens Music. If you want to Google that up, I'll put a link right up here somewhere for it. But where I have all original songs on there right now. And again, I know I'm certainly not George Strait or whoever your favorite artist is, but I enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. And next time we'll come back with some more knife or gear or some kind of video. So anyway, I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Bryan. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared and have fun. I'll see you next time.